A man in Ohio inherited $400,000 when his father passed. 11 months later, it was gone. Not stolen, not scammed. Spent on a boat he used twice, a kitchen remodel he didn't need, and a truck that's already worth half what he paid for it. 3 miles from him, a guy who fixes HVAC units for a living has never made more than $58,000 in a single year. He owns two rental duplexes outright. No mortgage, no debt. He drives a 2011 Tacoma with 190,000 miles on it, and he's not embarrassed by that. He's proud of it. One of these men had money and lost it. The other never had much and built something that lasts. And the difference between them isn't intelligence or luck or even opportunity. It's something quieter than that. Something that doesn't show up on a resume or a bank statement, at least not right away. I'll tell you exactly what it is. But first, I want you to notice something that's going to bother you for the rest of this video. Almost everyone who becomes wealthy looks completely unremarkable while they're doing it. The flashy ones? Most of them are broke, the ones actually building something. You'd walk right past them in a parking lot and never know. By the end of this, you'll know the 10 hidden habits that quietly separate people who build real wealth from people who just perform it. And I promise you, at least one of these is going to describe something you're doing right now without realizing it's costing you. Let's start with the one nobody talks about because it's not exciting. Wealthy people make fewer decisions per day, not more. They eat similar meals. They wear a small rotation of clothes. They don't spend mental energy deciding what to have for lunch or what to wear to a meeting that doesn't matter. There's actual research behind this. A well-known study on parole judges found they approved release requests far more often early in the day than right before a break, when their mental reserves were drained. Same judges, same case files, just less decision fuel left in the tank. Wealthy people protect that fuel like it's currency, because it is. Second, they track money before it even exists. Before a paycheck lands, they already know where every dollar is assigned. Not out of anxiety, out of habit, the same way a pilot runs a checklist before the plane ever leaves the ground. Most people check their balance to find out what they can afford today. People who build wealth check it to confirm what they already decided last week. Now here's where it gets personal because habit 3 is the one that actually rewired how I think about money, and it came from a guy named Malik. Malik was 31, worked in logistics, made decent money, did everything the internet told him to do. No debt, index funds, a budget spreadsheet he never opened, and he was still stuck. Not drowning, just stuck, year after year, watching his savings account barely move. Then he came across a line in Atomic Habits that stopped him cold. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. He didn't need a bigger goal. He needed to remove the moment where he had to decide anything. So he automated 24% of every paycheck the day it landed. Before he could see it, before he could talk himself out of it. 18 months later, without one dramatic win, he had more saved than the previous 5 years combined. That's the third habit. They automate the boring part so willpower is never required. Wealthy people don't have superhuman discipline. They just built a life where discipline almost never gets tested. Stay with me because habit 4 is the one most people get exactly backwards, and it's quietly bleeding them dry. They buy the asset before they buy the comfort. The person performing wealth buys the car first, the house first, the vacation first, and hopes the income eventually catches up to the lifestyle. The person actually building it buys the thing that pays them first and lets the comfort follow later, funded by what the asset produces, not by next month's paycheck. It's a small shift in order, but order is almost the entire game. Remember that man in Ohio who burned through $400,000 in under a year? Here's the detail that explains everything. He never once asked what something cost him monthly. He only asked, "Can I afford the payment?" That single question, payment instead of price, is the exact line between building wealth and financing the appearance of it. Habit 5 is strange, and I need you to actually sit with it. Wealthy people let themselves feel a little poor on purpose, even after they've made it. There's a well-documented pattern among lottery winners. Years after the windfall, many return to roughly the same baseline happiness and financial stability they had before winning, because their identity never actually caught up to the money. People who build real wealth deliberately stay slightly uncomfortable. They keep driving the older truck. They delay the upgrade. Because comfort that arrives too early freezes the exact behavior that made the money in the first place. Here's a number that puts it in perspective. A well-cited Federal Reserve survey found that a large share of American adults couldn't cover an unexpected $400 expense without borrowing or selling something. In plenty of those cases, income was never actually the problem. Comfort arrived faster than identity did, and the two things don't automatically line up just because a bigger number hits the account. If any of these have hit you already, drop a comment telling me which number. I read every single one, and it tells me exactly what to make next. Habit 6. They ask a completely different question at dinner. Most people ask, "What do you do?" Wealthy people ask, "What are you working on?" One question is about identity. The other is about direction. Listen closely at your next family gathering. You'll hear immediately who's still coasting on a job title and who's still quietly building something underneath it. Habit 7. They treat their body like their first business asset. Sleep, movement, food, not for how they look, for how they perform. A depleted brain makes worse decisions and takes worse risks every single time. You cannot out-earn chronic exhaustion no matter how talented you are. Every genuinely wealthy person I've studied protects sleep the way most people protect a paycheck. Habit 8. They choose rooms where they feel slightly behind, never rooms where they're the most impressive person in it. Being the smartest guy at the table feels good. It also costs you a fortune, because you stop learning the moment you feel comfortable. People who build wealth pick friction on purpose. There's a contractor I heard about through a friend of a friend. Never met him, but the story stuck with me. Late 40s, ran a small crew, nothing glamorous. Every year he drove 4 hours to a conference full of guys running companies 10 times the size of his. He didn't speak much at those events. He mostly listened, took notes, felt slightly out of his depth the entire weekend. Within 6 years, his revenue had grown past every contractor he used to compete with locally. The ones who stayed home where it was comfortable, where they were already the biggest fish in a very small pond. Discomfort, chosen on purpose, was the entire strategy. Habit 9 follows straight from that. They measure themselves against where they were, not against where someone else already is. Comparing your year 3 to somebody else's year 15 is a quiet way to talk yourself out of ever finishing year 4. Wealthy people track their own slope, not somebody else's summit. Now here's the turn, the part that reframes everything you just heard. None of these 10 habits are actually about money. Not one. They're about identity. Every person who quietly built wealth didn't start by fixing their bank account. They started by changing who they believed they already were. The kind of person who tracks, who automates, who stays a little uncomfortable, who asks sharper questions at dinner. The money showed up after the identity changed, never before. So the real question was never, how do I get rich? It was always, who do I have to become first? And that's habit 10, the last one, the one that quietly holds up all the others. They stopped asking when it will happen and started asking who they need to be for it to happen at all. There's a version of you right now who made these shifts 2 years ago. Same face, same name. He's not smarter than you. He's not luckier than you. He just started on an ordinary Tuesday you didn't. Think about that HVAC guy in his 2011 Tacoma for a second. Nobody at a dinner party is impressed by him. Nobody's asking him for advice at a barbecue. He'll probably never post a photo of a receipt or a rental agreement. And that's exactly the point. The habits that actually work are invisible from the outside. They don't perform. They just compound quietly year after year, until one day the guy nobody noticed owns 2 properties outright, and the guy everyone envied is back to asking his parents for a loan. The gap between where you are and where you want to be was never made of money. It was made of Tuesdays. Flat, unremarkable Tuesdays where you either build the system or you scroll past it. You don't need all 10 tonight. You need one. Pick the habit that made you flinch the hardest, because that flinch is usually the truest signal you'll get all week. Start there, not tomorrow, tonight. If this shifted even one thing in how you see money, subscribe and share this video to your loved ones who need this. I'll see you in the next one.